Welcome to Canadian Investing 101, a short video series made for anyone interested in learning about investing as a Canadian. Whether you are a university student, a young professional, or someone just beginning on their financial journey, understanding investing is one of the most important lifelong skills you can develop. Before we continue, however, I'd like to clarify that I'm not a financial advisor, and this video is for educational and informational purposes only. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of your investment. So always do your own research and consider your financial situation before making any investment decisions. You are solely responsible for your investment decisions and any resulting gains or losses. So, with that out of the way, let us begin. To start us off, what even is investing? Well, investing is the act of allocating money into assets. And what is an asset? Well, it can be any resource, item of value, or beneficial quality owned by an individual. For example, it could be a house, percentage ownership of a company, or even an artist's turd, which is valued at around 400,000 CAD in 2026. Crazy, right? Now, what is the purpose of investing? The purpose of investing aims to accomplish two primary tasks. One, to protect your money from inflation, which is the sustained increase by an estimated around 2% in the prices of goods and services over time, meaning the toonie you own today may only be able to buy what a loonie buys today 5 years from now. The same goes with any money sitting inside a checking account. I think a fun way to visualize inflation would be that inflation is why your grandparents used to say that back in my day, a house cost 13,000 CAD only. And you're like,
That's great. I wonder if I can buy one right now.
and then you check the price and unfortunately realize you can't even afford the house's parking spot. Man, what a sad way to find out. The second purpose of investing is to grow and compound your wealth over time. As a visual, let's say you begin by investing 500 CAD into an asset like that Labubu everyone is going crazy over. With a theoretical annual interest growth rate of about 8%, higher than the 2% annual inflation, in 30 years' time, your 500 Canadian dollar Labubu would have grown to around 5,000 Canadian dollars. On top of that, if you made monthly contributions of just 50 CAD for Labubu accessories over those 30 years, you would have ended up with a whopping 73,000 CAD in Labubu assets. That's crazy, right? Had you just left that 500 CAD in the bank, that 500 CAD today would need to become about $960 CAD 30 years from now, just to afford the same amount of goods and services as you would today. As such, it is often said that the earlier you start investing your money, the more time your money has to grow. However, investing does come with risk. There is no investment that guarantees profit. The market is volatile after all, which is why understanding your risk level, diversification, which effectively means putting your eggs into many baskets, and choosing the right investments for you is essential. So, what determines when to save or when to invest? Before we answer that question, the first thing to understand is the difference between the two. Well, for starters, both are ways to grow and manage your money, but the key difference lies in your time horizon and your financial goals. Savings is for the money you expect to need in the shorter term, usually within the next 5 years as a guideline. Some key examples include emergency funds, vacations, or purchasing of a vehicle. Investing, on the other hand, is for money you expect to need in the longer term, usually exceeding 5 or more years as a guideline. Some examples include retirement, long-term wealth building, or buying a home. If only I can travel back in time with the 13,000 CAD today, huh? Anyways, in essence, what determines whether you save or invest depend on your objective and goals. If you're someone who expects to purchase a vehicle or go on vacation to Japan, along with everyone else in the world, including me, a savings approach would make the most sense. If you are someone who expects to purchase a home or pay for your own retirement, for example, an investing approach makes the most sense. It is important to note that both saving and investing can be performed simultaneously, which is what I would recommend if your circumstances allow for that. Before investing, though, you should establish an emergency fund. A common recommendation I've seen is to have 3 to 6 months of your living expenses saved in an easily accessible account. This usually comes in the form of a high interest savings account, or HISA for short. There are many different investment styles, but they can generally be simplified into 2 categories: passive style and active style. Passive investing involves a long-term approach where investors buy and hold investments with minimal buying and selling of that asset. The goal here is typically to match the overall market performance rather than trying to beat it. This style of investment generally is lower cost and simple. On the other hand, active investing involves a more hands-on approach where investors regularly research, analyze, and make decisions about which investments to buy, sell, or hold. The goal here is to outperform the market in this case by identifying opportunities that may generate higher returns. This usually means buying undervalued assets and selling overvalued ones. This style of investing, though, is generally higher cost, requires expertise, it's more time consuming, and often involves higher risks. Here I've provided a simple table containing both passive and active compared side to side, so feel free to screenshot that. Now, before you dive straight into deciding your investment style and assets, you should determine your financial priorities. As a general guideline, your top priority now should be to cover committed expenses, such as rent, bills, or any high debt payments, as these payments can significantly impact your ability to build wealth. The next step is to build an emergency fund containing, again, 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. After that, you've set your foundation, and you can begin allocating money towards your goals, such as retirement, maybe buying a home, long-term wealth building, and personal goals or experiences. The right balance will depend on your own priority, timeline, and lifestyle. Unfortunately, nothing comes free in this world. And I know that from watching O'Hare monetize oxygen in the movie Lorax. And while investing may sound appealing, it is important to understand that every investment comes with some level of risk. Generally, investments with higher potential returns also come with higher levels of uncertainty and a greater risk of losing your money. Because of this, one of the most important steps before investing is understanding your own risk tolerance. Ask yourself, how much risk can I take and how much potential loss can I handle? For me personally, I fall under moderately aggressive. A good way to view this is that investing is like choosing between a slow, controlled weight loss plan and an aggressive weight loss plan. Some people are comfortable taking on more risk for potentially faster results, while others prefer a slower and steadier approach. Neither approach is wrong per se. The best choice depends on your goals and what you can realistically maintain for the long term. The worst investment strategy is choosing an investment that is way too risky for you, panic selling when the value falls, and missing out on that potential recovery curve, although it's not guaranteed. At its core, investing is simply putting your money to work. Start by building a strong financial foundation. Invest, get it? Invest time into understanding your goals, your timeline, and your ability to handle risk. In the next video, I'll be covering different types of investments available to Canadians, including guaranteed investment certificates, bonds, mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, and stocks.